It's time for you to go to buy a new vehicle. Why? Well, you've got a 2013 Nissan Altima or a 2013, I don't know, Hyundai Elantra or a Chevy Cruze, and you're the type of consumer that, hey, you know what? The past couple years, prices have been just too much for my budget, and I am not going to overpay for a vehicle. I'm not paying these stupid dealer markups. I'm not going to overpay because there's some kind of chip shortage and there's a shortage on cars and I have to wait, and I'm not paying over MSRP for any kind of vehicle. First of all, it's stupid. And second of all, I can't afford it. It's not in my budget. If you're that type of consumer, so instead of doing that, you've held on to your car for a couple of more years, and now, unfortunately, it's time to turn that in and get yourself a vehicle. So yeah, there's a couple of things going on with that vehicle you have right now, of course. You're sinking a little bit of money into it. You've had your valve cover replaced, your alternator needed replaced, your catalytic converter needed replaced, and maybe a couple of months ago you had your brakes done and the mechanic looked over your vehicle and said, hey buddy, look, the bushings on the control arms are starting to wear and the ball joints are wearing, so you're going to need these. That's why you've got a little wobble in your tire there. So plan on another $1,200, $1,300 in repairs for that. Plus, you notice, of course, rust accumulating on the wheel well. And we all know what happens with rust. Once it starts, it's almost impossible to stop. So rather than go on with this vehicle, you think, all right, now is the time. The car market should be settled down. I'm hearing a new noise in my car, and that new noise, I don't know where it's coming from. Maybe it's the engine, maybe it's the transmission. I don't know what it is. Of course, you bring it to the mechanic and they can't hear anything, but you know it's there, right? So back to that car market, it's trying to settle down. You hear the commercials. Maybe we have special interest rates or you know, some sales, or you're hearing that there's dealer incentives out there now. Rather than hold on to that vehicle, let's go shop for a new one. So again, you are a smart consumer. You've listened to the experts. You've watched a few videos, and they kind of make sense to you. You're not going to be locked in on one particular vehicle. You're not going to overpay for a vehicle, and you're going to look for a vehicle that suits your needs. So what are your needs? You need a family vehicle, right? You have a 6-year-old child, and congratulations, there's another one on the way in 2 months. That's fantastic. You need a vehicle big enough to handle 2 child seats and all the gear that you have to put in to support those kids, like, you know, their diaper bags, their food bag, whatever else, their strollers, toys, whatever you need to put in there. It needs to be big enough for that. Number 2, you live, let's say, in North Olmsted, Ohio, or McHenry, Illinois, or Oswego, New York, or right here where I live in Sussex County, New Jersey, and you want something reliable in the snow. Now, the vehicle you have is pushing 130,000 miles. It's done okay in the snow, but with a new child on the way, you want to be safe. You want to be able to go out and do things. God forbid there's an emergency and you need to get somewhere quick. You want that safety. You know, you need to get through the snow. And of course, your next car has to be within your budget. And what is your budget? Hell, maybe it's between $390 and $410. If you really needed to push it, you could go up to $440, $430 in that range if you put pizza night once a month instead of once a week and cut back on your Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Maybe you can push it there. Yes, I'm just like you. We have to cut our budget to make room for other things, don't we? Again, you're the smart consumer. You're going to do your pre-shopping. You're going to go online. You're going to figure out how much the car is, what the warranty is, what the dealer fees are, is there any incentives, And of course, you're going to figure out your financing beforehand, whether it's through your own credit union or bank or what the dealer offers in finance. You're doing all that homework, and that's what we're going to do now. So let's go and let's see what we can afford. Come on. So what I like to show you here is we go to a reputable website like Car and Driver right here. We want to type in the best SUVs under 30,000 because, you know, we want a decent SUV. So let's see what's out there. The Crosstrex 21.4. Now I've looked at this in advance, and the first few cars like the Mazda CX, these are what they call subcompact cars. I have one of these, the Vista, starting at $23,495. Volkswagen. These are very small vehicles, not family friendly. It's good for maybe if you know, a commuter car. This is the one I have here, a Kia Niro. And trust me, you can put stuff in the back, and we go on trips with it, with my wife and I, but you know, if you have 2 kids and a dog, you're not fitting them in here. And the Crosstrek, same thing, a bit smaller SUV, and of course the price reflects that. Nothing wrong with them, but I would call them more of an old school hatchback or a liftback rather than an SUV. Some of them, for example, the Niro, that doesn't even have all-wheel drive. It's only available in front-wheel drive. So if you're looking, you know, we need that. Same thing with the I believe the Volkswagen is also front-wheel drive. So some of them, again, aren't what you're looking for. Not until we come to Kona, same thing. Same thing as the Niro. The Sportage, now that's a pretty decent vehicle. It's got some good room inside for a family. Easily fit 2 children in there and a dog. It's got plenty of cargo area. So this is a good one to look at, right? And if we look, it's $28,500. Also the Tucson, again, same thing as the Kia Sportage, same kind of area inside, $29,700. So you can see these mid-size SUVs, they're not full-size or anything like that. A little bit bigger than your subcompact. Soul, that's kind of too small for anybody. It's too small for one person, let alone a family. But anyway, I found a few. The Mazda CX-5 and the Kia Sportage are probably your best, I wouldn't say best, but kind of in that price range of the $30,000 price range. So, but of course, it says starting at $28,500. If we build it and price it, and we need that all-wheel drive, right, for the your northern snowier states. Of course, as soon as you pick $33,400, so you're over $30,000 for an all-wheel drive, can't afford that, right? Let's see. Mazda CX-5 is also good. And if we want the base model on that, let's go here. This is funny because the CX-5, the S trim, which is bare bones, but it does come with the iActive all-wheel drive, which is really nice. My son's got one of these, and it really works well in the snow. In those northern snowier states, you're going to like it. And of course, it says starting at $28,570, but once you go ahead and build it, it's $29,900 because it doesn't include the destination fee or anything like that. So let's say, again, decent sized vehicle, good enough for a family of 4 plus a dog. You're going to stuff them in there, but hey, it'll get the job done for you. It'll go through the snow. You'll easily be able to use it for a commuter car or to pick up the kids from soccer practice or whatever's going on there. So let's try to buy this one because this is my least expensive, decent vehicle that I would recommend. We'll go to our loan calculator, and you can Google this loan calculator here. It's really good. You'll know your payments before you even get into the dealership. So let's change that price. It's going to run $29,900, right? Interest rate we'll leave at 9%. That's, you don't have great credit, but you don't have horrible credit. It's right in the middle, and that's what new car loans are, 9%. You came up with $5,000 down, whether it is, now I get it, if you have a trade-in and maybe they want to give you $4,500 or $4,600, there are tax advantages to doing that, because it lowers the price of the vehicle by that much, so you're only paying tax on the difference. You can get into that later with them, but for now we're just going to use $5,000, whether it's a trade-in or cash on hand. Of course, you've got to pay tax. You can put in whatever your state tax is. I'm just going to put in 7%. Well, you know what? 6.75, I think, is our tax rate here in New Jersey. So I'm going to use that. But of course, you know, whatever your tax rate. Now here, title, registration, and other fees. So, again, in my state, it's, you know, it just depends on the dealer, but it's usually between $600 and $700 for a doc fee, plus any of those bullcrap fees they throw on. You know, some places even charge for temporary tags, or a tire disposal fee, or, you know, a toilet paper fee, or whatever fees that the dealership has. I'm going to leave it here at $1,600. If you're in Florida, you can double that. You poor Floridians, you're going to have to go to another state. I've seen them as high as $3,000 in Florida. But I'm going to leave it for $1,600 here. And if we calculate it, yeah, okay, it already came up with the monthly payment. $591, $592 for a family vehicle, brand new family vehicle, for 60 months. So of course you can change the term of that. And 72 months, maybe you can't afford that. Let's calculate that. Now it does lower the payment, okay? But of course you can see right down here your interest. You're paying 23% of that in interest. So that car that cost you $29,900, you're trying to get it down under $400. You can't do that. So you figure you might stretch it another $100 for your monthly payment. But the total cost of that vehicle after 72 months is going to cost you $42,012. We give you an incentive of $1,500, right? We'll give you $1,500 cash back because we have so many in stock. Not on a Mazda, but hey, maybe you'll find a car that they'll give you cash incentives. Okay, that's going to lower your payment to near $500. And so, but look at, you're still paying $40,000. You're paying $10,000 more than the car is actually worth. So to find a decent used vehicle, I know many of us use Car Gurus or Auto Trader, so I'm up on that screen now. And it's a really good tool to view what the market is, but sometimes it's not the best to go buy it from these dealers. And let me tell you why. So, okay, we're looking for used. I put it in here. We want an SUV, right? We want something for the family. Put in your zip code, your payments. You know, you can pretty much choose what you want. So I put 2022 to 2024. Let's see what else. Features. Let's see. Backup camera, navigation. So you can put in anything you want. What else do we have here? Drivetrain. So we want all-wheel drive. So let's click all-wheel drive, because that's all we want to see, right? We're in the north. We get a lot of snow. We want to pick up the kids. We got to get the hell to work. Okay, so if we look here, hell, these are just as much, if not more, than the brand new ones we looked at, right? A Rogue for $24,800. Okay, that's a pretty good deal. It's under $30,000, and it's only got 2,000 miles on it. Not bad, right? So we can look into that one. Here's a Hornet. I don't know if anybody wants a Hornet. That's a smaller vehicle. A Pathfinder, but it's still out of our budget. This is kind of close to our budget. Another Rogue XL, and it's an SL, so it's got some bells and whistles in it, but look, only 6,700 miles on it. Here's one. This is really nice. A 2023 Hyundai Tucson limited edition, so it's got everything in there. It's got the bells, the whistles, the leather. I'm sure it's got a sunroof in there for $26,800. It says great deal. And we'll get into that in a little bit later. I just want to go through this a little bit. It's got, yeah, so it's got the sun and moon roof, navigation system, all loaded. A Mustang Mach-E for $31,000. That's a great deal. Oh, where's that? Maybe I'll go look at that one. Okay, a Kona. Again, this is small. SEL. This is a really good trim level. Leather seats. It's got everything for $21,900. It's got less than 20,000 miles on it. Looks like a fantastic deal. Now, I've dealt with some of these dealerships before. I'm not going to tell you which ones. But there's a few of them that I have called and I've actually went to. The problem is when you see these great deals, they are great deals, don't get me wrong. It's a Platinum Edition 20 Pathfinder. I mean, come on, that's a great deal. So for example, if I was interested in this one here for $21,900, you know, the SEL, great deal. It's fantastic. And I go to this dealership. This price here is to get me to click on it, give my information to them, set up an appointment for me to come in. That's what Car Gurus, Auto Trader, any of those are. They're going to put a price on here that they're really not going to sell it for. And of course, you understand that we have to put our tax, registration fee, government fee, whatever that is. But what they don't tell you on here, let me click on it just to see. See, they request your information, which is fine. They'll give you everything, but they do not put their fees on here. I don't see them anywhere. And believe me, okay, they put everything on here except the fees. Average market price, it's a great deal. It's a hot seller. They put all this stuff so you can get in there really, really quick. And I get it. But when you get there, they're going to add on things that you never even thought of. They're going to add on a prep fee, a reconditioning fee, a tire fee. You know, you have to take a gap insurance. There's going to be, I guarantee you, that there's going to be between $2,000 and $3,000 of additional fees on this vehicle. Now, I know the new cars program is in effect, but that's why they have request information. So if you are interested in this car, give them a call and tell them you want the out the door price. You want to know what this car is going to cost you out the door. They should, I mean, see, the dealer rating isn't even a 5-star, but hey, look, they have to give that to you. And if you get there and it's not that price, there's really going to be hell to pay. I mean, you know, you don't need to be going through all this, you know, during these times where everything is so expensive. But I guarantee you, anytime you see this great deal, you're gonna pay some hefty dealer fees. Especially, I guarantee, in Florida, they even find new things. Oh, they have like a used car finance fee in Florida. It's crazy. So before you go ahead and say this is what I want and sell your other car and do that, please do your research. So I have done that for you. Let me show you. And that in addition to, you know, your Car Gurus or your Auto Trader, those car search engines, I found a few dealerships that are reputable. They're good used car dealerships. They move a lot of metal, so they have great Google ratings. And let me just show you a few of them. The first one is BMVW, and that's in Union, in Georgia, actually. So for those of you who live in Florida who don't want to spend half of their finance on dealer charges, I would recommend this place. They do not have any dealer fees. Zero. I purchased from them before. So let's just have a look at their inventory. And we'll filter. We want, what do we want? An SUV, right? We want something for the family. So let's see if they have anything. SUVs, they have 8 of them in stock. And let's look. Escalade for $24,000. That's a 2015, a little too rich for our blood. 22 Honda HRV. That's a decent vehicle for $18,800, but the mileage is kind of high. I would, Honda's really good, so $51,000 for a Honda is not a big deal. The Honda Pilot, Land Rover. So that's an older one. Tesla. Here's a RAV4 2017. That's a good looking vehicle. And that is it. I saw a couple more on here a few days ago, but they are sold. So that's a good thing. This dealership is pretty honest. I purchased one from them and I had it delivered to my home. I guarantee you there is no fees. There's no nitrogen filled tires. There's no dock fee. There is no dealers. The price you see here is the price you're going to pay for the car. Of course, you're going to have to add your, if you're in Georgia, you're going to have to add tax and whatever government fees there are. But if you're out of state, this is the price you're going to pay. You write the check for that amount, and that's it. Okay, you've got your Carfax right here. So this is a pretty reputable dealership, and when they say no dealer fees, they mean it. Also, Hertz, another place. Can you believe it? Yeah, Hertz. Now I know, people say you got to watch out for those rental vehicles, and I guess you're right. I mean, they can be abused. People just get into them and do whatever they want. But let's try to. But on the other hand, they're pretty well maintained. They're changing the oil all the time. They're always in there cleaning it and maintaining the vehicle. So SUVs, let's filter, I don't know. Yeah, just SUVs. And price, we want, I'm not going to pay $100,000, maybe, I don't know, 18? And we want the mileage, maximum 20. Let's view it. Okay. Only a couple here near me. But you know, we have a Renegade Latitude for $16,700. And there's not a lot on here. You can go ahead and search. Maybe you have to change this one to, I don't know, 30,000 miles. And here's some more. And the reason Hertz, they don't charge any dealer fees as well. There's nothing. Now, they're not going to hold the car for you. They're not going to hold it or a down payment, anything like that. But they will put a warranty on that vehicle for you. And there are no dealer fees. So again, you just pay the tax. And that's why I brought that up. So Hertz Car Sales is another place you may want to check out. Also this one, Automotive Avenues, I have been there before. I've looked at their vehicles. Their vehicles are pretty good. The ones that I've looked at, nothing wrong with them. I think they do a great job of inspecting and selling. Okay, they're award winners 7 years in a row, Consumer Satisfaction Award, and I can see why. They really treat their customers well. It's not a very high pressure situation at all. I went in there. Unfortunately, I did not purchase from them because, it's the car that I was interested in. They didn't have, but of course you can search the SUVs. And this is in New Jersey. They tell you the price right up front. They tell you what your savings are. Kia Sorento 16, but let's put in some. Let's do 2023. They have 94 available. 2022, they have 83 available. So there's plenty of vehicles to choose from. We'll view 177 of them. So here's that 2022 Mazda for $19,200. So you're not going to pay anywhere close to $30,000 for it. It has under 20,000 miles. So, here's a Rogue for $18,900. So you can get these decent sized SUVs. Oh, that's a Select, so that's not your base model, You can go ahead with an upgraded model or whatever model you want. 21.4 for a Santa Fe. That's a really good price. Yeah, all-wheel drive. Look at that. Only 925 miles on it. Look at that. Okay. So, this one would be a definite looker for 21.4. Now, with this dealership, there are dealer fees. There's one dealer fee with them, and that's their dock fee. Most places have a dock fee. The other two I have up here don't, but this one does. It's $695, and that's what they charge. There is no negotiating that. So be prepared to add on $695 to this price. Ooh, the Turbo 2.5 Premium Plus package for $22,400. Wow. Only 12,400 miles on there. So this is a great deal as well for that Mazda. Again, look around. These are my go-to dealerships for used vehicles that I know. You're going to get a pretty decent deal. And with two of them anyway, I haven't shopped at Hertz, but I've heard a lot of good things about them. Just be aware, that with Hertz, they are rental cars. Yes, they're maintained and upkept, but they could be driven hard as well. So with any of these places, whether it's BMW, Hertz, or Automotive Avenues, just do your best to get these cars inspected thoroughly, even if they have very low mileage, like 900 miles. I would recommend that. Or if you can't get it inspected, bring somebody with you that knows a bunch about cars. They can surely help you out with that. But this is my alternative. And if we go to the automotive calculator again, let's see. And we go ahead and maybe we buy one of these slightly used vehicles with low mileage, and we want to get a loan. Instead of that $30,000, we're going to put in, maybe we like that Santa Fe for $21,000. 60 months interest rate. Used cars might be a little bit more, but let's say you have decent credit. You're going to put that same $5,000 down. All right. Again, tax, we'll put 7% just on average. And of course, if you choose one of, the places that I recommended, you're not going to have to pay extraordinary amount of fees. So we'll put, just for average, I don't know, maybe Automotive Avenues, you're going to pay for your registration, and we'll put in $1,000 just for extra fees. Maybe you have to have it delivered to you. I don't know. And let's calculate that. So here we go. We went from over $500 for a new vehicle, $514 to $550, to now you're paying $339 a month for less of a term. You're going to be 60 months. I wouldn't do 72, but let's say you're in a pinch and you had to, you're under $300 there. So But of course, your interest is more, and you're paying $28,800 for the car. But it is a lot better than the brand new car market. And those used cars with, low miles, and it'll do the job for you. And for some of us, including myself, this is the way we have to go. So if you've noticed, I left a couple of car companies out, and you know who they are, right? Carvana and CarMax. Well, I did that on purpose because, number one, with both of those companies, you're going to pay a little bit more of a premium price for their vehicles, and that's due to their service. They have great service. You get the car delivered to you, or you go pick it up, and there's no haggling, no fees, except for, I think CarMax does have a fee, a dock fee, but it is small. I think it's $300 or $400. The second thing is Carvana, which kind of I don't like. You do not have the opportunity to test drive the vehicle or to inspect the vehicle before it's picked up. That's right. You can't request a dealer to inspect it, or a mechanic to inspect it. You can't do it yourself. It's kind of, you pay for it, it's delivered to you, you take it as is. Now, they do have a 7-day return policy, so if you don't like the vehicle, you're welcome to trade it in. But here's the thing, you have to pick another one from Carvana. You just can't get your money back, and I kind of don't like that. Now with CarMax, yes, you're paying a premium for it. It's very easy to deal with. However, if you're going to buy from CarMax, you must, and I repeat, you must get your own financing in order. They do have a financing department, but it's geared for people with less than, good credit. So their interest rates, I believe you can double check that, of course. They start at 18% and go all the way up to 23 to 24%. And that is outstandingly, that's crazy interest. That's legalized extortion to me. But, if you can't get approved anywhere, then that may be the only opportunity that some people have, but they are going to take advantage of that. So if you do find a vehicle at CarMax, get your own financing in order. So we've looked at all of these vehicles online. Now, of course, that's me. I've dealt with these before. It only took, 20 minutes to go through these 3 dealers and look. And I'll be honest, I've done it before. I've looked through these websites before. But of course, you can find your own websites just like I did. And you can find your own dealers, and you can give them a call. You can go online. What do you think? Which car should we buy? Now, the Mazda CX-5, fantastic car. I love it. It's a great car in the snow. It's reliable. But a brand new CX-5 is just out of our budget, and we didn't even add in dealer fees to that. That's going to put us over $500. We're not going to do it. So, what do you think about that Hyundai Santa Fe, huh? At the Automotive Avenues? I, personally, if it were me, I would go have a look at that car. Yeah, we're not going to make a decision online. We're not going to buy a car. Of course, we're going to go to the dealer. We're going to drive it. We're going to inspect it. We're going to talk to the salesperson there. I know there's a dealer fee with it, but are there any other fees? What's the out-the-door price? We want to know all this. We're going to get our financing in order. But of course, if it were me, I would go to that dealer and take that car for a test drive. It offers a lot. It's got the room you need. It's got the all-wheel drive you need. Hell, it's even got a 8 years left on the warranty, or 99,000 miles left on it. It's only got under 1,000 miles. It's definitely worth having a look at. And you know what? The best thing of all about that car, it puts me just under my budget, which will save me a little bit of money to, take the kids on another trip maybe this year. So that's what we have to do as a smart consumer, is shop around. Don't settle for one vehicle, and be open to a slightly used vehicle. Let somebody else take care of that depreciation. But if you can find a new vehicle that the dealership is willing to reduce a few $1,000s plus give you like a 2.9% APR, you know, maybe you have good credit. Maybe you can get that APR, but most of us are average credit. We're not going to qualify for that. And that's why you see me putting in those rates of 8, 9, 10%. So anyway, I hope our journey into finding a new car helps you find your next car. Again, thank you all for watching. I hope this video helps. And as always, have a wonderful day.